Welcome to War of the Roses. We're going to go through this tasting kit and taste each 10 of these recipes and let you know which one we like the best. And at the end of the series, we're going to put the 4 best ones in a blind. Well, welcome back to episode 5 of War of the Roses, otherwise known as the 4 Roses Tasting Experience, where we're tasting all 10 recipes of 4 Roses. We've gone through all but 2, and we're going to finish the last 2 tonight, starting with recipe 9, OESQ. Now they're saying that this is the same mash bill as the last 3, which is mash bill E, 75% corn, 20% rye, 5% malted barley, yeast strain Q. The tasting notes are saying is delicate grains and lightly floral. And basically, the 4 Roses website basically categorizes this as floral essence. I don't normally eat flowers, but if it smells good, well, we'll see. OESQ. Let's crack this puppy open. So far, this is interesting. The highest score that we've had is a 9.0. And the lowest score was a 5.0. So there's a 4-point spread so far in these different recipes. And surprisingly enough, one of the high rye recipes is got the number 2 spot as far as ratings go. Well, I do get some floral. I would say that's pretty predominant. Floral and oak. I'm not getting a lot of sweetness here. Really not very much fruit or, molasses brown sugar. It is floral and oak. Interesting. Cheers. It actually tastes better than it smells. It is not bad. There is a fair amount of baking spices going on, and I do get a nice medium to light fruit, a little bit of sweetness, a little bit of oak. I would say fruity sweetness, oak, and baking spice is what I'm tasting here in that order. Let's take another sip. This is actually pretty good. It surprises. I thought that maybe this was not going to be sweet at all, and it's got the sweet and the fruit going for it, and baking spice. The oak, a little oakier than I normally like, but not bad. It's not like a double oak or something. It's a fairly good balance. A lot more fruit than I was anticipating. Wow. All right, OESQ. Well, this surprises me. I kind of anticipated it to be, by the description there of delicate grains and lightly floral, that there wouldn't be a lot of taste I would like. But I was really getting a nice medium to light fruit, some sweetness, a little bit of oak, and really not much on the grain side other than baking spices, unless they consider that what they're picking up in the tasting notes. But I liked it well enough that it's currently in 4th place. And if the OESF doesn't eclipse it, this one could be in the finals. So, surprised? I like it. So we're going to put OESQ back in. And we got a fresh glass, and we're going to pour us some OESF, which is recipe 10. Mash bill, same. E, 75% corn, 20% rye, 5% malted barley, yeast strain, F as in Frank. Tasting notes, light oak and mint. Okay, I like a good mint, a good peppermint. I'm not sure about it being in bourbon, although the last one really didn't taste, at least to me, like the tasting notes. So we'll see about this one on the final. OESF. Pour us a little dram. That should be enough. So let's get to this OESF. Well, what do they say about it? Because I'm really not picking up any mint here. They say herbal notes. And I would tell you that I'm getting more of an herbal smell from that. So herbal notes, I would kind of agree with. A little bit of oak, not much sweetness. Really not much else. Maybe a little bit of fruit. That herbal does come through though. Cheers. This has got a less sweet taste, more baking spice than recipe 9. And something a little odd about it. Something I'm missing. Let's take another taste. I know what it is. I'm neither getting any fruit to speak of or any kind of molasses brown sugar. So in some ways, it's a bourbon without some of the traditional tastes that I'm used to. I get a kind of grain-forward, baking spice, slightly sweet, and really nothing else. For a low rye bourbon, it doesn't taste like a low rye. I'm really not getting the sweetness of the corn. It definitely is more the grain side of it, more the rye side of it. Which is surprising, considering what the and it could be the yeast strain, that F yeast strain. Well, I think this one surprised me more than any of the other ones because the first 4, which was the high grain mash bill, I kind of expected to get very little sweetness and kind of rye forward or grain forward, and there was a couple in there. It was just the opposite. They were very good. And for OESF, I was kind of expecting the last one to be kind of like dessert, maybe the sweetest, maybe the most interesting of the batch, being number 10. But actually, it was probably my least favorite of the mash bill E. I'll have to go back and look at the scores. But yeah, not a big fan of OESF at all. It only scored a 6.0, which is not the lowest score, but it gets down there certainly in the lower half. So we're going to put away OESF, and we're going to pull out what are the finalists that made the final 4, which was OESQ. And that was one we tried earlier this evening. And then the next one with a score of 8.0 was OESV, the first of the mash bill E's we tried a couple nights ago. And then a high mash bill B, I actually gave it an 8.5, which was OBSO. That made the final 4. And then finally, when we tried last night, with a near perfect score of 9.0 OESO. So hopefully you can read all those. Wow, so we've got kind of, you could have almost guessed that I would have picked more of the lower rye mash bill than the higher rye mash bill. So we've got 1 high rye and 3 low rye that are in the final 4. So that completes our tasting of the 10 different recipes. Tomorrow night we're going to put the top 4 in a blind, and my lovely wife will join us for the reveal. And we're going to find out which one I like the best. Is it the low rye or that 1 high rye? So please like this video, comment and share, and hit that subscribe button. And we'll see you tomorrow night for the finale of War of the Roses. See you next time.